It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Worldwide Sports Radio presents the Haystack Show. With Mike Guido.
And here we go on a Thursday. It's the Haystack on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, WorldwideSportsRadio.com. Mike Guido, Evan Mazza, my producer, Monica Ray, Big J journalist, knocking over her wipes. She's on a roll today. Can't connect to the Wi-Fi. She's knocking over wipes. She can't find the football.
To sanitize.
I find out she has some crazy weapon in her bag. It's loaded today. What are we doing here?
I don't know.
Crazy.
Keeping it real.
I guess so. I better not piss you off. I'm getting all right.
You never know if Antonio Brown's going to come in.
That's true. That's true. Hey, you might have to be the one that arrests him. He's locked himself in his house. Buy or sell coming up later today. We are packed. I'm going to give you the top 10 most exciting players to watch in the NBA coming up at the top of the hour. All right. But I do want to begin with this because I got to be honest with you. It's the middle of January, and quite honestly, mid-season NBA games don't really matter to me. There's no urgency with them. I'm not rushing to my TV to watch a Minnesota Timberwolves against Portland Trailblazers game on January 18th at 7:30 at night. I'm just not doing it. I'd rather go out to dinner with my fiance. That's what I'd rather do. I'm not rushing to my TV for a midseason NBA game. Again, and I thought that this year's NBA was going to be better than last year's, and I think that it is. I think there's more competition. I think there's more good teams. I think there's more contenders. But here's the reality of the situation, okay? Playoff football is going on right now, and the NBA season is halfway over, and virtually nobody cares. That's the okay. The NBA season is halfway over, and I've barely covered the NBA on my show, okay? Because nobody really is into it right now. It's football. Okay, here's the thing. Last night, everybody's, including mine, everybody's eyes were glued to the television for a basketball game. And to be honest with you, that basketball game had no playoff intentions, implications. I'm sorry, playoff implications, had no title implications. The game didn't mean anything. The San Antonio Spurs and the New Orleans Pelicans in New Orleans. That was the game that everybody cared about. Why? One word. Zion. Zion Williamson made his debut, and I'll be honest with you. The first 3 quarters of the game, or I'll even say this, the first 3 quarters and about 3 or 4 minutes of the game really kind of sucked. I watched it. Zion's debut at that point. I was tempted to turn the TV off. I really was. 5 points and 4 rebounds through 3 quarters. I was like, they're not really leaving him out there for that long. They only gave him a couple of minutes back to back. They didn't really give him a long stretch. This was just kind of, I wasn't into it. It was very, very watered down, and I was, a little disappointed. I was like, I'm going to rush home early from work. I'm going to get home. I'm going to watch this game. I'm going to be thoroughly entertained. I'm going to watch Zion drop 50. And I was disappointed. I'll be honest. I was kind of meh. Okay, then the fourth quarter came around. And he scores 17 straight points. He hits 4 for 4 from 3. And he dominates the game, gets the Pelicans back in it. And then they take him out again, which, again, is something else to be said. But, okay, 22 points, 7 boards, and 3 assists yesterday was the finishing line for Zion Williamson. It was everything that we had hoped for. And to be honest with you, no, it wasn't great for 3 quarters. but it absolutely delivered. Okay, you can't underestimate the power of a draw. Okay, Zion Williamson, and this is why I think it was really, really cute and really, really really ridiculous when there was an anonymous GM or owner or whoever it was, front office executive, that said, I mean, I would have taken Ja Morant over Zion Williamson. Yeah, I bet you would have. If you, the Ja Morant definitely. Oh, he's obviously the better player. Oh my God, I would have taken him in the first place. That's cute. No, you wouldn't have. Give me a break, okay? Zion Williamson was the phenom, okay? If you had the number 1 overall pick in the draft last year and Zion Williamson was not your number 1 pick, guess what you would be today? Fired. You'd be unemployed, okay? That's the fact of the matter. You were not taking Zion Williamson and then convincing your fan base, no, really, Ja Morant's the better player, trust me. No. Zion mania was going to happen regardless of wherever he went. Okay, Zion goes to the New Orleans Pelicans, and there you go. History is made. And then we get last night, and we finally understand why everybody was obsessed with him. Okay, I don't need to describe to you the impact that he has on the game single-handedly. Okay, he's the only guy that I can see where a missed shot at the basket doesn't matter. He's the only in NBA history. I've never seen a guy miss a shot, grab his own rebound after it gets blocked, and put it back up stronger. Okay? There was already a lob between him and Lonzo Ball. Okay? He's a draw. He's exciting to watch. Okay? Zion Williamson is amazing for the NBA, and he's amazing for whoever team drafted him. Let's be honest with you. 22 points, 7 boards, 3 assists against grown men in the NBA. Here's the thing that I really want to point out. Okay, this is the thing that really, really impresses me. He was 8 of 11. He shot 72% from the field. Okay, he was 4 for 4 from 3. He's efficient. He's not throwing possessions away. He's a smart player. He's a good passer. I was really happy with literally everything that Zion gave you. And you never have to worry about him either. Zion's a great kid. He's a good leader. I mean, Zion Williamson wanted to go back to Duke. Everybody's just like, go pro. Please go pro. And Zion's like, but wait. But Duke's fun. I like Duke. And I don't want to. No, go pro, Zion, please. Okay? You're going to be the number 1 overall. You're the most undisputable number 1 overall pick of all time. Can you please go pro? And he's like, okay, fine, I'll go pro. Maybe I'll play for the Knicks or whatever. And then he ends up in New Orleans. Much better situation, much better GM, much better ownership. And to be honest with you, much better players around him. He's got much better players. Brandon Ingram's a budding star. They had 2 more first-round picks. They drafted Jackson Hayes and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. They have J.J. Redick. They have Lonzo Ball. Pelicans have talent. They're on their way. And Zion Williamson is going to be the staple of that. He's everything that they wanted so far. Okay, we can poke holes in whatever we want. Okay, he's only 6'6". He could get injured. He's got to lose weight. He's not a great shooter. Okay, we can poke holes in whatever we want. Okay, there's a couple things that matter with Zion Williamson, though. And these are the only things that matter. He's more physical than everybody else. He's efficient from the floor. And he's amazing for business. Okay, he is a massive draw. The rating last night for Pelicans Spurs was unbelievable. And it was a non-playoff implication, non-title implication, middle of January game during football season. That tells you something. That's why Zion Williamson is the guy you had to draft. Not anybody else, but Zion Williamson was the guy. Okay. 22.7 boards, 3 assists yesterday, 72.7% from the field. Shot 4 for 4 from 3. I was way impressed. His nickname is Xanos. I love that. Xanos. You like that, Evan? Nerd?
That's a good nickname.
He likes it. The kid's dominant. He's dominant.
Well, I think what's more impressive is this. That happened in the fourth quarter. You like that.
17 points straight in the fourth quarter.
Again, now, hey, the draft thing, again, it was in the draft. Yeah, Zion was the consensus number 1 pick. John Morant's having a great year. John Morant is, he might very well win Rookie of the Year.
That's not a shot at John Morant.
No.
I'm saying that if you had the number 1 pick,
well, Zion was the guy.
If you didn't take Zion, you would have lost your job the next day.
It's like with the NFL draft. Chase Young might have the better rookie season, but the Cincinnati Bengals have to take Joe Burrow. Now Chase Young is the better player, but Joe Burrow is the guy
Tua might be better than Burrow, but
Joe Burrow is the guy the Bengals have to have.
You got to take Burrow. You got to take Burrow.
You got to take him. For the Pelicans, Zion was the number.
You had
one
to take Zion.
You had to. That was the guy. That was the guy who was the consensus number 1 draft pick. People would have scratched their heads if you went and took R.J. Barrett, John Morant. Again, both guys are having good years.
Players, yeah.
John Morant's having a great year. But I think what you like to see, and again, it'll be interesting to see how much Alvin Gentry increases the minutes, how much you handle Zion. I see a report from Brian Windhorst that said the Pelicans are going to buy at the trade deadline, so they're obviously not really giving up on their playoff push. They're only 4 games back of the 8th seed, which is actually the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest. I think they could. I think they should. They should buy. I mean, I would buy with caution. I wouldn't trade for any expiring contracts.
Well, there's no rush to go for it. That's the thing. There's
no rush. But I don't think they're going for it. I think they want to buy in, get to the playoffs, and just like establish more pieces, like lay the foundation for more established pieces. Like I think they should, but I think they should be careful. I don't think they should give up a slew of young players to get Bradley Beal. Go get some mid-level players, maybe a starter or two, and roll with it. Maybe you give up a couple of the young players that you don't use or whatever, and try to go along with that. We'll see.
Like I said, you like the fact that the 17 points in a row came in the fourth quarter. He may have struggled in the third quarter, but fourth quarter he turned it on and was really good. So you like to see. And again, I'm very interested to see how much his minute time increases, how much playing time increases. Because again, he's coming off an injury that he missed 4 months, 3 months, 3.5, 4 months of the season. So, but the more he gets going, the more he keeps playing, the more experience he gets, the more you're going to see why he was the number 1 overall pick and why he was one of the top talents to come out of the draft.
Right.
Since LeBron, maybe. So, and it's going to be interesting to see because those top 3 guys, Zion, Morant, R.J. Barrett, and Barrett's unfortunately battling an injury. It's going to be fun to see those 3 now. Now it's going to be fun to see those 3 guys playing, for the rest of the season. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Right. All right. So coming up next, Stephen Jones is saying that the Dak Prescott contract is urgent. We got to get this thing done. I'll tell you what their situation should be next. Haystack, Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
You're listening to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. You're listening to the Haystack Show on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Good to have you back. Haystack, Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Mike, Evan, Monica here in a Thursday? God.
Friday Junior.
There you go, Monica.
Yoo-hoo.
There you go. See, you didn't say Friday Junior, so I got confused on what day it was.
Yeah. Well,
Boy, oh
thank
boy.
God I'm here.
Yeah, goodness gracious. Thank God Monica's here. Oh, Donna, oh my God. All right, so here's the thing about Dak. I like him. I don't love him, but I like him. And I think if we heard Stephen Jones said, we've got to make this thing urgent. This is a massive priority going forward, getting this contract done with Dak Prescott. And it absolutely should be. Okay. But here's the thing I do want to bring up. Okay. Dak has to understand that his best decision going forward is not to take the higher deal. Okay? It isn't to take $35 million. Okay? It's to take $29. It's to take $30. Okay? You have to understand, okay? And I understand that Dak's leverage point is massive, okay? And this is really a big point in this. Okay? Dak today has more leverage than he has had in the past. It really is that way. Okay, Cowboys hired a new coach. They have a new offensive system. They have a new offensive philosophy. Dak can't do that if he's not paid. Dak can't learn if he's not under contract. Okay, so the Cowboys could very easily franchise tag him. They'd make, I believe, $26 million out of the franchise tag, which is fine. Or they could extend him for more than he's worth. And again, the likelihood for me, I think it's the latter. I think the Cowboys are going to extend Dak Prescott. They're going to pay him that money, and it could very easily hurt them. Okay, if they pay him $36 million, it could very easily hurt them. And it's not in the fact that he's going to lose stars. I don't think he's going to lose Amari Cooper. I don't think he's going to lose, Robert Quinn or Byron Jones or any of those guys. Like I don't think they're going to take a massive hit in that category. But it's the depth that matters. Okay, it's who are you going to be losing? As far as not starters, but the depth pieces. If somebody gets injured, are you going to be able to play a third-round pick, or are you going to have to play a seventh or a practice squad guy? Those are the things that make the difference here. Okay, so I understand that Dak has more leverage today than he did yesterday, but let's be honest. We all realize that the smart move for Dak is to take the lesser amount of money. Okay, he's not the elite quarterback. Okay, we're looking at the playoffs this year. The Cowboys, as much as I like them, don't have as good a roster and are not as well coached as the San Francisco 49ers. Okay, Jimmy Garoppolo is making $27.5 million a year. They were able to build around Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, Patrick Mahomes is on the cheap for Kansas City. They're able to build around him. You're going to lose that ability. Okay, you're going to lose guys. Okay, I think the offensive line stays intact. I think you keep Amari Cooper. You'll be able to keep Zeke. But all of the pieces that you're going to need to make Dak Prescott great, those guys are going to waver. Okay, everything for your season. Okay, if you pay Dak the max, you pay Dak the super contract, you are banking on everything needing to go perfect going forward. That's what you're banking on. No injuries, no bad starts, nobody can have an off game. That's what you're banking on. Okay, and you're banking on the Giants not getting any better, the Redskins not getting any better, the Eagles kind of staying where they're at. That's what you're banking on. The Cowboys need flexibility with this contract, not just with Dak, but with everybody else. So these negotiations are really, really important. Yes, they are urgent. Stephen Jones and Dak Prescott have to get something worked out. But I think the course of action would be that if he doesn't want to take your team-friendly contract, then you have to entertain franchise tagging him. Okay, the Cowboys offered him $33 million a year, and Dak said no. They didn't make the playoffs. So we're gonna see how this whole thing shakes out. But like I said, team-friendly deal, franchise tag, give it another year. We'll see where this progresses. And to be honest with you, if we feel like he's worth it again, then we can pay him again. But the big contract seems likely, but it isn't the path I would go down. All right, let's go to the news. Big J journalist Monica Ray here on a Thursday.
Friday, Junior.
Friday, Junior.
So I've been waiting for this since I got in. I told you guys yesterday I spent 5 hours at motor vehicle.
Oh, my God.
I had to renew my license, so I went there. I tried to make an appointment online. This is really a public service announcement if you're going to DMV or you have to. I tried to make an appointment online. They told me the next available was March. Ridiculous. So I get up early. I'm online, the first one there. It was just mayhem because, as you know, New York State unleashed a new law that all illegal immigrants can get driver's license and IDs. Mm-hmm. I wonder what that's for. Something called the 2020 election? A little bit interesting, but yeah, I spent 5 hours there.
There is like this massive outbreak, though, of like DMV, like the DMV wait is always long. Like if you go to the DMV, you got to be prepared to be there for at least an hour.
You got to bring snacks, water. I made 2 new friends. I got invited to a bar mitzvah and a birthday party.
Really?
And I
don't know what it is with you, but as soon as people meet you, they want to give you things or invite you places or whatever.
So I got in. I got my ticket. It was U827.
U827.
That was my.
But let me guess.
Number.
When you got there, it was on U826.
No, there was no U when I got there. So
oh wow,
the lady comes around and I'm getting the new enhanced license so that I can fly and I can drive to Mexico or to Canada because you never know when you're going to have to get out of the country.
Right? Yeah, you're gonna.
You might go north or you might go south. Who knows?
Right. Exactly.
So she looks through all my documents and tells me I need my birth certificate. I'm
what?
Like, what? Yeah, that's exactly what I said. So she gives me a pass. I go home. Now, I live in St. James. I was in the Port Jefferson one. I drive home.
That's like a half hour.
I get my license. I get my birth certificate. I drive back, and my number still isn't up. There's 10 more people in front of me. I wait another 2.5 hours.
For 10 people?
You know what? They need to have 2 lines. They need to have a U.S. citizen line and a non-citizen line because it's absolutely
I wouldn't hate that.
Insane.
Speed up the process.
Yeah, but we all know what this is for. This is so all of these people that are getting their license, they're going to remember, the Democratic governor put this in place, so come election time, we're going to vote Democratic. I mean, that's all what it is. It's a play, and it's disgusting. And you know what?
And you have to wait 5.5 hours to DMV.
Yeah.
It's bad.
But it's terrible. So if you're going to DMV, if you have to go, bring snacks, bring water, bring a book, bring a friend. I don't know.
Well, you don't need to bring a friend. You'll just make them. You'll just make them. I made
8 new friends.
I don't know. Did you find somebody that wants to come on the show? I mean,
yes.
Everywhere you go. I mean, you could go out to dinner and be just like, I ran into somebody famous. Like, God, it's freaking everywhere. Isn't it every time she goes out, Evan, is she just like she meets somebody famous or she makes a new friend or something like that?
She must be popular.
Jesus.
She must be really popular.
I'm just friendly. But speaking of popular guys, we were talking about Eli Manning, so we all know he announced his retirement.
Yes.
He holds almost every passing record for team history with the Giants.
Yeah.
And 2 Super Bowl rings. So he's got to wait another, 5 years before he finds out if he gets into the Hall of Fame?
It is 5 for the NFL, right,
yes,
Evan?
Yes, it's 5.
Okay.
So, I mean, he's got to be a shoo-in for that. Come on.
He's going to be...
Well, no, I don't think he's a shoo-in, but I think, I mean...
He's got enough support from the writers.
Yeah.
He's going to be a first ballot. He's going to be a first ballot fan. We could debate... Eli Manning's Hall of Fame candidacy is debatable for a lot of people because there's one hand that'll tell you, okay, he's a 2-time Super Bowl MVP. He's top 10 all-time in passing yards and touchdowns. Giants' greatest quarterback ever in Giants history. Was a New York quarterback for almost 20 years. Maybe you could argue the best quarterback in the history of New York. Namath, Jim Kelly. You could argue he's the best one ever.
It's one of those things where, the other side... Do you think that Tony Romo is a Hall of Famer?
No.
Okay, then... You might have to say that Eli Manning isn't either.
But Eli, you're going to tell me Romo has better statistics and everything, right? Or had better passing
well,
seasons.
my thing is that Tony Romo Tony Romo throughout virtually his entire career and virtually all of Eli's career, like Tony Romo was a better quarterback than Eli. He was a better quarterback than Eli.
Statistically.
Yeah. Oh my God, by far. But the problem is that Eli has the Super Bowls.
But Eli's also top 10 all time in passing yards and touchdowns. Like it's not really a, I understand Eli didn't have, MVP seasons. I know Romo had really good passing years, and I'm not discrediting Romo. Romo had a darn good career. But Eli, all time, is up there, and he's got. Yes,
I wouldn't say Eli's like an all-time great though.
In numbers perspective, he's up there.
Is he in there with, like you said, Joe Montana?
No. No, he doesn't. He doesn't
Bart
hold their
Starr.
jock. But listen,
Whoa, did you just say that?
Yeah. Listen, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan,
Yeah,
right?
me
And
too.
here's the thing about me being a Cowboy fan. I have a lot of respect for Eli Manning, okay? Regardless of my hatred for the New York Giants, okay? Can't stand them as a Cowboy fan. I've always liked Eli. Great guy, played the game the right way.
Right.
I never had a problem with him. He was never show-offish.
Right.
I had massive respect for Eli Manning. And I love the fact that he won 2 Super Bowls. Absolutely deserves it.
And I'll tell you what, from 2007 to 2012, 2013, Eli was up there as one of the most clutch quarterbacks in the NFL. He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So here's the thing. If I had a vote for Eli Manning to go to the Hall of Fame, I would probably vote him in. But you've got to keep in mind, if Eli gets into the Hall of Fame, I think you are really lowering the standard of what gets into the Hall of Fame and what doesn't.
There's Giants fans listening.
Because
Call in.
Eli,
Tell
because
Mike what you think.
You guys, you have to understand, okay? Eli at no point in his career was a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
I would disagree with that.
Eli at no point in his career.
I would disagree.
Super Bowl champ.
Eli was never great. Eli was always good. He was never great.
That same stretch of time that I was talking about before, he was definitely a top 10 quarterback. 07 to 12 to 2012, 2013, he was definitely, at least to me, in that stretch of time, he was a top 10 quarterback.
I guess Evan.
But if he didn't win 2 Super Bowls, would you be saying that still?
Would I be saying
I mean,
that?
his career,
again, that's like saying, take away Super Bowls for Montana and Brady. I mean, we can't really play the take away Super Bowls game when they did it. And Eli, and here's what also helps Eli, and here's what I will say helps Eli. Yeah, he did beat the Patriots twice. That does help him.
I mean, he won the Super Bowl in what years? 07
and 2011.
And 2011.
You're going to look up his statistics, right?
Well, right. Think about it like that. Like 07 when he won the Super Bowl.
He's got the most, if not, I think either the most or the second most road playoff wins ever in NFL history. Either him or Joe Flacco.
Well, right. Listen, I'm saying I would probably vote him in. But when I'm saying that he isn't a shoo-in. I mean, in 07 when he won the Super Bowl, he threw for 3,300 yards. He had a 56% completion percentage. He had 23 touchdowns and 20 picks. I mean, Eli didn't even have a good year that year, and he won the Super Bowl. So, listen, I'm not saying Eli Manning doesn't get into the Hall of Fame. I would vote him in because I love the way he played the game. I think the 2 Super Bowls give him the accolades. I would put Eli Manning in the Hall of Fame because it helps tell the story of football.
And here's also
Eli Manning, in my opinion, does not stack up to other Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
And I'm not saying he does, but again, when you look at the all-time records, all-time passing touchdowns, top 10. Here's the top 10: Frank Tarkenton, Hall of Famer; Ben Roethlisberger, going to the Hall of Fame; Rodgers, going to the Hall of Fame; Eli Manning is number 7 at 366; Phillip Rivers, 397, going to the Hall of Fame.
Is Phillip Rivers going to the Hall of Fame?
I think he is.
I don't know if he is.
I think Rivers is going to the Hall of Fame
because Phillip Rivers is Phillip Rivers.
Now Rivers is the anti-Eli. Rivers has great statistics, and you could argue was a top 5 quarterback in the league, but in big games and posted reps, could never really get the job done.
Phillip Rivers,
the antithesis of Eli Manning.
Phillip Rivers at his best was better than Eli at his best.
But again, in big games, big moments in the playoffs, I would trust Eli over Phillip Rivers.
I would too. Agreed. No disagreement there. But I don't that's the thing is I don't think Phillip Rivers is good enough to get in the Hall of Fame.
But he's going to get in. Because
is he?
I think he is.
Yeah, but why?
You got Marino, Favre, Manning, Brady, Brees in the top 5. Rivers will get in because, again, longevity being the quarterback of the Chargers for almost 20 years.
How many playoff wins does he have?
About 4-3, something like that. 4-3. He's only been to one AFC title game in his career. That was 2007.
And he lost.
He lost to New England. That was actually the torn ACL game. He tore his ACL against the Colts the week before, came back and played that game against New England.
Right.
He has, again, I know Eli didn't put up big numbers in the regular seasons and during seasons, even though he is top 10 all time in passing yards and touchdowns.
I mean, you have to keep in mind, too, when Eli won both of those Super Bowls, they were both against New England, which is impressive.
And he was that throw to Mario Manningham. I had my friend posted that on Twitter, and he said the same thing. That's one of the best throws you'll ever find. The one that Mario Manningham.
Listen, I really like Eli. I am not taking a shot even a little bit at Eli Manning because I really, really like him. Okay? But even, you got to keep in mind, too, when he won those Super Bowls, those Giants defenses were unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That's true.
And I know some people are going to say, well, what's the difference between Eli and his brother then? Well, Peyton Manning is one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. Peyton Manning is...
Isn't that also the antithesis of Eli with Peyton? Peyton won 2 Super Bowls off... Now, that was truly off the backbone of the defense.
Sure.
That's
truly...
fine.
Right, exactly.
Well, Eli had a great... Don't get me wrong. Eli had a fantastic pass rush, and that was a big reason why they beat Brady twice. But Eli was also pretty darn good. Eli in the 2011 NFC title game against the 49ers, a great 49ers defense.
No, Eli won for the most part when it mattered. That is something to be said. And he stayed healthy his whole career.
Yeah, prior to this season, the only game he ever missed was the benching for Geno Smith, which never should have happened prior to this season.
Right. In 2017, he got benched for Geno Smith for one game. Right, which was ridiculous. Again, I'm just I would vote for Eli Manning to get in because I like him, but I think Eli Manning is far from a shoo-in. Far from it.
All right. So Evan,
and I understand that I'm a Cowboy fan, but I'm one of those Cowboy fans that I hate the Giants, but I never hated Eli Manning. Eli to me was awesome. I really loved the way Eli carried himself. But this is not Eli's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't think he is. Eli, I think, is scratching the surface of being a Hall of Famer at all. He definitely shouldn't get in on the first ballot. Maybe not even on the second ballot. Eli should get into the Hall of Fame, but he's not a shoo-in guy. Okay, this is not Derek Jeter. You know what I mean? This is Larry Walker on his 10th try. That's what it feels like to me.
Wow.
Joe, now here's the thing. Now again, I know different eras and everything like that. Everything's different.
Oh, you can make the argument against Joe Namath too.
But Joe
Namath threw more picks than he did touchdowns.
But Joe Namath was a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I know.
They voted him as a first ballot guy. If you voted in Joe Namath with his throwing more picks and touchdowns, sure enough, Eli Manning's definitely a
right.
Hall of
But
Famer.
Joe Namath, I think. Joe Namath probably shouldn't have gotten into the first ballot either. My thing is that Joe Namath, I think Joe Namath got a lot of votes. First of all, because he was a New York Jet, right? The iconicism of Joe Namath is what got him into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Right? People think that Joe Namath is great when you say Joe Namath. Joe Namath really wasn't great. He was just for a New York, he was the iconic New York Jet.
Well, he had the personality, you know.
I mean,
so
I don't think Eli's a shoo-in.
Mike and Evan agree to disagree.
I mean, we both agree he's a Hall of Famer.
I agree. Yeah, I don't.
think
Eli, he thinks that he should get in.
I think he's first
like
ballot.
This. I'm not. I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way because Eli, by the numbers, season by season, he never put up a great season. Never. He never had that. Eli never had that one season where you're just like, wow, that was unbelievable. He never had that.
Well,
I understand. And trust me, I understand that sentiment with Eli Manning. I really do. I understand that sentiment with Eli Manning.
The Giants went 7-9 in in 2013 when Eli had a 57.5% completion percentage. He threw 18 touchdowns and 27 picks.
Listen. Eli Manning's regular seasons and Eli Manning's career was a obvious. It was a roller coaster ride, but what you can't have to look at is this. Overall in his career, it was a really good career, like really good. And when you finish your career top 10 all-time passing yards, top 10 all-time touchdown passes, and you're the we talked about this yesterday. We said this yesterday with Jeter, right? Derek Jeter was the New York Giants are the New York football team. They are. They are the primary New York football team. Eli Manning was the face of the Giants and the face of New York football for almost 20 years.
Right.
Just like Derek Jeter with the Yankees, there's something to be said about that. And just like Derek Jeter, Eli Manning handled New York with as much class and
right.
Yeah.
But
genuine as you can ask.
But Eli to me isn't Jeter. Like Eli to me is Jorge Posada. You know, like Jorge Posada was even better example. Andy Pettitte, right? Andy Pettitte was incredible in the postseason. He's one of the best postseason pitchers of all time. Okay, he's a multiple-time World Series champion. But in the regular season, calling him average is generous. Okay, Andy Pettitte was never great in the regular season, but he was great in the postseason. Andy Pettitte can't get 25% of votes in the Hall of Fame ballot.
In those two playoff years, the 2 years where they won the Super Bowl, he threw 15 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Cool. That's fine, Evan. That's fine. Eli was great in the postseason. I'm not saying that.
In 2007, he threw 6 touchdowns and 1 pick with a 60.5 completion percentage and a 95 passer rating.
Would you vote for Andy Pettitte?
Well, again, that's a completely different issue.
No, it's not.
Well,
he was entirely average in the regular season, but he was unbelievable in the postseason.
I said it's different because Pettitte was guilty of performance-enhancing drugs, and I said that yesterday.
So there's that.
Pettitte was guilty of performance-enhancing drugs.
Well, okay.
Everybody can be great on performance-enhancing drugs.
Okay.
Well,
Think
about
how great you felt on steroids.
I felt like crap on steroids. That's not performance enhancers. That's performance suppressors. Wow. Seriously, I don't know how people take that stuff. It's probably different steroids, but
I think we need to have the debate with Matt Caterizzola about Eli's Hall of Fame candidacy.
Oh my God! Do you have any idea how much he would lay into me? But all right, last what's next?
Story. So I was looking through my stories last night, and bam, what pops up? Our Hall of Famer and winner of Diva, Antonio Brown.
Yes.
This guy is at it again. Apparently, he and his trainer were in his Hollywood, Florida home waiting for some kind of delivery of his belongings. And a delivery truck came, a moving van, and they owed him $4,000. So Antonio...
Wait, they owed
the driver of the moving van for whatever he was delivering. There was a bill of $4,000.
Oh, so they owed him. All right, so they owed the mover $4,000.
Right. So Antonio Brown refused to pay, and during this altercation, verbally, it became physical. He threw a rock at the driver. It's alleged.
Oh my God!
And the trainer took the keys to the truck, so Antonio could unload whatever was on that truck and get it in the house while he held the guy back or down or whatever. I don't know, but the trainer has been arrested. Antonio Brown is on the lam.
Well, he's locked himself in his house.
I know. You know, this reminds me of, like, the O.J. chase. When you were watching it on TV, I'm like, why can't somebody just shoot the tires out? Shoot the windows out in this guy's house. Go in and cuff him, for God's sakes. I mean, come on.
Well,
what are they doing down there?
Well, because they're not gonna fire shots at O.J. Simpson. They were afraid of the public scrutiny.
They could have shot his tire out, is what I'm saying.
No, I understand that, but you know, you got to keep in mind, like, shooting a gun's not easy. Like, you got to be pretty precise to.
Well, I have my pistol permit, so not a bad
and
shot.
You have your axe throwing permit.
And I'm an axe thrower.
And you're an axe thrower. So what can't you do? Seriously, can you climb Everest or
that's on my list.
Can you speak Arabic or something like? Jeez,
Chinese.
Can you actually? Wow, Jesus, you're impressive.
You know what? Thank you. I'm just sick of this. Like, can somebody just this guy needs help. He has he's got mental issues. Whatever happened to him,
he's gone off the rails.
He really has.
He's gone off. Here's the bad part about this is that, like, okay, first of all, he didn't want to pay the driver $4,000.
Right.
If $4,000 mattered that much, I thought Antonio Brown had a whole lot of money. That's what I thought. But
I guess
here's
doesn't
this change the entire narrative about everything that surrounded Antonio Brown?
Yeah. Right.
Everything.
I mean,
okay,
exactly.
Everything in Pittsburgh, everything in Oakland, everything in everything. AB has literally ruined his reputation.
He's never getting back in the NFL.
No,
who would hire him?
No, I love the topic that some sports shows have of, you think Antonio Brown's career is over?
Yes.
Yeah. Who's signing up for this?
No, that's a whole lot of crazy.
Who in the world? Right. I don't care how talented he is. Okay, the Saints worked him out. The Saints worked him out with a couple more wide receivers. Antonio Brown is by far the best receiver at that workout, and they signed somebody else.
Yeah, who wants the drama and the problems and the press?
Okay, stable organizations don't want him. No, the unstable organizations don't want him.
Right.
They don't.
Right. It's not worth it.
Nobody wants him. The Patriots cut him because he was too much.
Yep.
Okay, the Patriots held on to Josh Gordon for longer. They extended Aaron Hernandez.
Right.
And they didn't want to. They didn't want to. They didn't want to deal with Antonio Brown.
Right.
I mean, it's just different.
It's just.
This is his NFL career is clearly over.
I mean, does he have any family? Can anybody?
Well, I mean, he has apparently his wife or girlfriend or whatever, and he's got kids, and he has kids. But
yeah,
I mean, they don't want to be anywhere near him.
Probably not.
I mean, seriously, he tried to get his baby mama arrested because she was trying to take his kids to school.
Yeah,
seriously, she was like in his Bentley, right? Taking his kids to school. He called the cops on her because he thought she was going to try and steal the car. I'm like, you've lost it. You have absolutely lost it.
I agree. He needs help.
And he recorded the whole thing.
And then he posted it on social media.
And he recorded the whole thing, put it up on an Instagram story.
I mean,
and
it's like watching.
He's like saying, he's insulting the cops. He's saying, "Man, why won't you help me? Because you're in the wrong, AB. They think you're ridiculous."
Yeah.
I'm like,
I know. I don't know. He keeps popping up in the news, so we'll see. Eventually, the barricade.
He's
going to have to come out of the house.
Plethora of help.
Unless he's ordering food via Amazon.
Yeah. Seriously. No, I'm serious. Don't think the cops are going to be like not focused on. If he like gets Uber Eats or something like that, he's going to. Right. No, he gets Postmates. Somebody delivers him food. Freeze.
Yeah.
I was just trying to eat my Chick-fil-A. Like, it's going to be funny.
I don't know.
Oh, boy, that's fun. All right, that's the news.
Whew.
Big J journalist Monica Ray here on a Friday Junior. Here's that's the problem with this, is that situation has been, I mean, it stopped being funny a long time ago.
It's not funny anymore.
It really is not.
Sad.
I mean, it is just.
It's sad.
It really is. It's scary because, like, it is getting to the point where you really do have to worry about, is he
mentally sound?
Is he going to hurt somebody?
Right.
Is he going to hurt himself or somebody else? Like, I would, if I was his baby mama, I wouldn't trust him with my kids.
No, I wouldn't.
I'm not letting my kids go see him. I'm not.
No.
You are insane right now.
Right.
In every facet possible, you are absolutely out of your mind.
Agreed.
I would do everything I can to say, all right, I'm going to take the kids for a while. Okay, I'll take them to school. I'll do whatever. Yeah, you figure yourself. I mean, everybody is disassociating themselves with Antonio. His agent dropped him. Okay, Drew Rosenhaus has represented some really controversial people in his life. He really has. Okay, and Drew Rosenhaus has stuck with Antonio Brown through literally everything. All the Raiders stuff, all of everything, has tried to make Antonio Brown look as good as he possibly can. Okay. And Drew Rosenhaus dropped him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad.
Yeah.
It has gotten
Get it together,
really,
Antonio.
really bad. I don't know. What are we thinking about here? Again, it's just not. Really is dangerous. I think it's really bad. All right. Coming up next, I'll give you the top 10 most exciting players to watch in the NBA. That's coming up next. The Haystack and the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Worldwide Sports Radio presents the Haystack Show. With Mike Guido.
And here we go, hour number 2. It's the Haystack and the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, WorldwideSportsRadio.com. Mike Guido, Evan Mazza, Monica Ray, Big J journalist. Great to have you in. Before we get into the top 10 most exciting NBA players to watch, Evan, who do we have on the phone?
Kevin from Chicago. Kevin, how you doing, my friend?
Pretty good. Just got a quick couple points about Zion Williamson because the media is going crazy. And they're saying, based on this game, there's no doubt he's going to be a superstar.
Okay.
The only thing that game proved to me is he can hit wide-open jump shots. You take a look at those threes he made, and the closest defender was a good 7 feet away from him.
Mm-hmm.
He had Aldridge and Derek Favors guarding him. They're so terrified of getting blown by that they gave him so much room, and he hit wide-open jump shots. To me, that doesn't prove much. Put a defender on here that can match his physicality and his quickness, and he's going to have trouble.
Who can match his physicality and his quickness?
Basically, any four guard in the league.
I would not say that. You think that any forward in the league can match Zion Williamson's size and quickness?
Yes.
Or physicality and quickness, I'm sorry.
Yes. If you look at when he drove the ball, he got stripped and he got blocked. I was watching him stand next to J.J. Redick, and they're practically the same height. I thought Zion Williamson was like 6'10". How tall is he? Like 6'6"?
He's 6'6". He's 6'6".
And when he drove to the basket, he got blocked. He got stripped multiple times. It's only when he got them wide open three-pointers did he actually make some shots. And going forward, teams aren't going to give him those wide-open jump shots. So let's see what he can do when he doesn't hit wide-open jump shots. You agree with it?
No, I don't. Here's my thing. I think that I don't think that any player in the league except for maybe Giannis is going to be able to lock down Zion Williamson. I just don't believe it. Because Zion Williamson, the day he stepped into the NBA, is the most athletic guy in the league. Okay, he's the second biggest guy in the league. Okay, one thing that Zion was doing yesterday is quick. I've never seen a guy his size move that quick. I haven't. Okay, he missed a layup, got his own rebound when he was standing out of bounds, and then finished it even stronger. He shot 72% from the field yesterday. He was 8 of 11. I mean, listen.
How many turnovers?
What do you mean? How many turnovers? How many turnovers did he have? Let's look. He had 5 turnovers.
He had 5 turnovers. Anytime he drove the ball, he got stripped. He turned it over. He got blocked.
Okay.
Only when he started making three-pointers, wide open three-pointers, did he make some shots.
Okay, but can I attest that to that being his first game in the NBA?
Sure, but that proves my point. He didn't prove anything yet except that he can make wide open jump shots.
Sure, he didn't. You're right. He didn't prove that he's going to be a superstar. But did he prove that he can play in the NBA? He absolutely can.
Yeah, I'll give him that, definitely. I mean, what I said is he proved that he can make wide open jump shots in the NBA. If you look at his points,
but also, isn't that what people were kind of afraid of? That Zion really can't shoot?
I think that was a narrative, yeah.
Yeah, so if Zion can hit 35% of his threes, if he can hit 35% of his threes, which is pretty much what he did in college, then there you go. You got an NBA player. Okay, there's no doubt that with his physicality, with his speed, with his athleticism, he's going to get his 20. He's going to get his 20 plus and his 10 plus. It's whether or not he can shoot or not. And yesterday, basically, what you're saying is that he can hit wide open jump shots. So if he can hit wide open jump shots and occasionally he can hit the contested three, then there you go. What more can you ask of the guy?
He hasn't hit a contested three, but that's my point is he hasn't hit a contested three.
Right, because he's taken 4 threes in his entire career.
Huh?
I said, yes, he hasn't taken a contested three because he's taken 4 threes in his whole career.
Right, so he hasn't proved nothing yet, so people need to settle down with the, oh, man, this dude's a transcendent star. He's going to be, he's one of the best in the league. He's one of the best athletic players in the league right now.
Well, he is.
He hasn't proved nothing, dude.
He is. You don't think he's one of the most...
Drive to the basket. That looked like an athlete trying to drive to the basket, turning the ball over. His sloppy ball handling.
You don't think he's one of the most athletic players in the league?
No, he looked slow. He looked uncoordinated, trying to handle the ball. Yeah, when he got that rebound, he's explosive and fast, but ball handling skills need to improve drastically.
Okay.
Decision-making skills need to
I wouldn't say decision-making needs to. I wouldn't say that. Zion made some really good... Zion's a really smart player. Okay, he made some really good passes yesterday. Okay, and I'll be truthful. Okay, do his ball handling skills got to get a little bit better? Yeah, sure. But you also got to keep in mind, he's a 6'6", 285-pound power forward. Okay, his responsibility really isn't handling the ball. Okay, a lot of guys his size, a lot of guys that play his position get stripped from the ball anyway. You got to kind of keep in mind Zion's first game in the NBA, Zion's first day off the injury. Okay, he was only going out there in 3, 4, 5-minute bursts. They weren't putting him in the game for that long. There was definitely a minutes restriction on him. They were being really, really careful with how often he got the ball. I was really impressed. With what I saw, I was really impressed. I'm not worried about whether he lacked explosion off the break. I didn't see it, but if he lacked explosion off the break, can't you attest that to his first day coming off the injury?
Yes, I can give him some leeway there, but that's my point is he hasn't proved nothing yet. And the way the media is responding...
No, he hasn't proved nothing yet, but are people in the media actually saying, oh, yes, he proved yesterday that he's going to be a superstar, or do people have the opinion that he's going to be a superstar? Because I can tell you, I think he's going to be a superstar, and I think yesterday showed. Yesterday was more of a positive than a negative towards that point. I'll tell you that. I don't think it proved that he would be, but I think it's a positive sign going forward. I mean, first game off the injury, you only played however many minutes, and you put up 22, 7, and 3 and shoot 73% from the field. I'm going to be impressed by that. I am.
The thing that worries me is the turnovers and the not being able to convert driving the ball. In college, when he wanted to get to the rim and convert, it was automatic. When he got to the NBA and he tried to drive the ball, there was turnover city. Yeah,
but I kind of think you're nitpicking. Like he's not going to turn the ball over 5 times a game. Okay, like LeBron turns the ball over 7 times in a half. And we never really. He's the best player in the world playing for the best team in the world. Okay, like the turnovers happen. Okay, guys that handle the ball turn the ball over. It's part of the game. They'll average 3-4 turnovers a game. Okay, Zion's not going to average 5 turnovers a game. It was just his first game. Okay, you've got to keep in mind he's got to learn the way the way NBA players play defense. Okay, he's going to go at college and the pros are completely different. He's not going to go into the NBA and have perfect ball control. Nobody does. Nobody does.
Yep. You know what would be better for me if he went out there and he could attack the rim like he did. If he was able to get to the rim like he did in college, that would be a better sign for me instead of making these jump shots. Because his wide open jump shots happy. If he was
Well,
hitting
maybe
step
he
back,
would have been
thought
able
the
to
guys
do
over
that.
pulling up and making shots, but that's different. He wasn't doing that. They're wide open threes being guarded by slow center.
Right. So what would you rather happen? What would you rather have happened? He had wide open jump shots and he hit them.
A better sign for me is when he did drive the ball, he would get to the rim and convert, or at least get a foul.
Okay.
That didn't happen.
But in his first game off the injury in only 18 minutes, we're gonna take that away from him already.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'd like to see. Him making jump shots.
Okay. So the next
it's not some like amazing feat.
So over the course of the season, we'll do an experiment. Over the course of the season, we'll see if he does that, and then call me again towards the end of after the season is over, and then tell me what you see.
You got it. Sounds like a plan.
All right, Kevin. Thanks for the call, buddy. All right, Kevin in Chicago. All right, so let's get into this. So most exciting NBA players to watch. I'm going to give you the top 10. Here we go.
Number 10.
Ja Morant. I'll be honest with you, the kid's box office. Really fun to watch. The uber athletic number 2 pick. Some people are say, "Oh, he's going to be a better player than Zion." That does draw a little bit with him. I think he's an exciting player to watch. He plays for a team with cool jerseys. Even though I will say this, people don't think that matters. It absolutely matters. Okay, those Vancouver Grizzly jerseys, right, Evan? They're cool. People watch the Grizzlies because all those jerseys are sweet. They like it. It fits Ja Morant well. Exciting player. He's the best player on his own team. Good passer. Uber athletic. Ja Morant, number 10.
Number 9.
Great player. Not incredibly exciting to watch, but I'll put him right here at 9. Kawhi Leonard. Really good player. I'm not going to say that. The only thing that knocks Kawhi Leonard is that he doesn't play that much. Like that's his issue, is that he doesn't play enough. But he isn't overly flashy, but he's fun to watch. The defense, that kind of soaring dunk that he does. People watch the Clippers because they want to see Kawhi Leonard play. You know, he has the ability to take over a game. Kawhi Leonard's number 9.
Number 8.
Anthony Davis. Crazy athletic, moves like a guard, but instead he's 6'11". I mean, long arms. Him playing with LeBron really helps. Catches a lot of lobs. That post fader is really fun to watch. Anthony Davis has the ability to take over games as well. He can physically beat anybody in the league. Anthony Davis is number 8.
Number 7.
James Harden. I'm lower on James than most people because I think he's crazy inefficient, but I do have to admit, okay, there are some things that he does where you're just like, how did he finish that in the paint? How did he make that step back 3? He takes crazy shots, and he does make them sometimes. So I think James is up there with exciting players. He's easily great. He's a great scorer. So if you're in a high-power, high-volume offense, then James Harden's a guy that you like to watch. The left-handed, it's unique. The beard, he's kind of chunky and shifty and everything like that. James Harden is relatively fun to watch. I wish he was a little more efficient, but we can't ask for too much. James Harden's number 7.
Number 6.
Luka Doncic. He's fun. Luka's fun, okay? For a 20-year-old kid, he is as fundamentally sound of a player as I've ever seen. Seriously, he is so good. His game is so advanced. He's a smart player. Do I wish he might be? Do I wish he was a little bit better of a three-point shooter? Yeah, I do. But the way he finishes at the rim, his dribble moves, the way he creates his own shot, everything is just exciting to watch with Luka. Everybody gathers around the entire arena. They gather around the TV set to watch Luka Doncic play. Luka is number 6.
Top 5. Number 5.
Kyrie Irving. I'm going to say, I never understood why Kyrie Irving's nickname wasn't Kyrie the Curving Irving. I never understood that. How shifty he is, his dribble moves, the way he bends and breaks people's ankles. I mean, he's got the best handles in the league. He's a great finisher at the rim. He shoots the lights out of the building. When he catches fire, there isn't a player that gets hotter in the league than Kyrie Irving. Listen, in my eyes, He's my favorite player to watch. I think he's a great player. Kyrie Irving, he's box office. He really is. Just such a shifty, nifty player to watch. Kyrie Irving's number 5.
Number 4.
Greek freak, Giannis. Here's my thing. Size, athleticism, people like to see the length. Giannis learns how to hit threes. He's made the Bucks relevant again. I mean, he's so athletic. I mean, watching his dominance is just really something to see. Okay, the long arms, the crazy physicality. He's a big personality. Giannis Antetokounmpo is definitely up there with guys that are incredibly fun to watch in this league. Give me Giannis at number 4.
Number 3.
We're forgetting about him because he's hurt. Steph Curry. Listen, Steph is fun. He really is. He's fun. Shooting the lights out of the building. He's got the shifty handles. He's a great finisher. That high arcing floater. I mean, there are things about Steph that are really, really fun. Okay, he's a phenom. He changed the game. Okay, shooting balls from the tunnel. I mean, it's insane what Steph Curry is able to do. Change the game, high power offense. Okay, whenever a shot goes up, you think it's going in. It's incredibly fun to watch. As much as I hated him when the Warriors and the Cavs were playing head-to-head in the finals every year, as much as I couldn't stand Steph Curry, Steph's really fun to watch. He's number 3.
Number 2.
LeBron James. Listen, LeBron is still incredibly box office. He's the best player in the world. Okay, he does everything well. He's learned how to shoot. He's still pretty flashy, crazy athletic, even in year 17. Okay, he's leading the biggest brand in the NBA. Great passer, great rebounder, makes plays constantly. He's box office. You can't not watch LeBron James and be entertained. LeBron is number 2.
And your number 1 pick for the most exciting player to watch?
I might be a little bit crazy here, but Zion Williamson. Okay, Zion to me is, he's the only player that I am rushing to a TV to watch. Okay, I did it in college with him last year. Whenever Duke played, I had to watch it. Okay, whenever the Pelicans play from now on, I'm going to have to watch it. Zion Williamson, without a doubt, I think is the most entertaining player to watch. Crazy athleticism, the big body, great kid. Now we learned that he can shoot threes. Okay, the crazy dunks. Okay, the hyper athleticism on defense, his ability to block shots, his ability to move that quick on the floor with that big body. Zion Williamson is just box office. So Zion's number 1. So there we go. Most exciting NBA players to watch. Number 10 is Ja Morant. Number 9 is Kawhi Leonard. 8, Anthony Davis. 7, James Harden. 6 is Luka Doncic. 5 is Kyrie Irving. 4 is Giannis Antetokounmpo. 3 is Steph Curry. 2, LeBron James. And number 1 is Zion Williamson.
Zion is there because of the potential, right? You're watching him because you know coming out of college how great he was.
I'm watching. Yeah, I'm watching that. That's part of it. Yeah, but I'm watching Zion because I know that the potential of seeing something eye-popping is always there. Like I love seeing Zion jump through the building. I love seeing him move.
Well, again, that's the whole thing with Shaq. That was the whole thing with Shaq, right? When Shaq
Shaq was incredibly entertaining.
When he first came to the NBA from the Orlando Magic.
Just the physicality of Shaq.
Right.
How he was so much bigger than everybody else.
Ja Morant. I love Ja Morant.
Entertaining, really entertaining player.
Watch him in Murray State last year. I love watching him last year in Murray State. This year he's continued. He's explosive. You know, Kawhi. I put Kawhi. I know you said Kawhi because you don't see him much, but I think because of the fact that when you do see Kawhi, it is money. Like, you do have to go watch it. Because I think Kawhi is the most clutch basketball player in the league right now. He's, or at least right up there in the top 2, top 3 most in terms of clutch players in the league.
Agreed.
You know, and I get the low. You know, I get the low management. It worked for the Raptors. It's worked before. It worked for the Raptors last year. I understand the lower management. But when Kawhi is playing, you're watching that, and like I say, he's one of the more clutch players in the league. Luka, I'm surprised he's not higher for you. I'm surprised.
I love Luka. I do love Luka.
Luka and Giannis might be my two favorite players to watch in the NBA, along with LeBron and Kawhi and Steph.
I just like to say Greek the Freak.
Greek Freak.
The Greek Freak.
Greek the Freak.
LeBron's LeBron. LeBron's LeBron. But Luka, I'm surprised. Luka's not higher on your list. I would have thought he'd be top
I love
3.
Luka. I listen, but here's the thing. Kyrie Irving to me, Kyrie Irving is so fun. Like, he's annoying and he kind of pisses me off sometimes because I hate how moody he gets. But I got to admit, Kyrie Irving is so fun. Okay, he's so shifty under the basket. The handles are crazy. He can shoot the lights out. I mean, he's just so dangerous. Okay, he's Uncle Drew. I love it.
Well, that's the thing with Kyrie. What does unfortunately get lost in some of the things, we sometimes forget how good Kyrie really is. You know, Steph, Zion, LeBron, Harden, Anthony Davis. Yeah, Anthony Davis, number 8. Well, maybe the best big man in the league. Now, again, I would have thought Anthony Davis would be higher for you too.
Yeah, that's the thing is Kawhi and Anthony Davis, they have their moments where they don't jump off the page. You know what I mean? Like, Kawhi's a really good player, but there are times where Kawhi does get, like, Kawhi's style of play is not overly flashy. You know what I mean? So the kids I don't think are automatically drawn to Kawhi Leonard because he's not flashy. Kids are drawn to Steph Curry because they love doing the crazy jump shot. They're drawn to James Harden because of the beard and the step backs and all that. You know what I mean? Kawhi's just clutch and really, really great. You know what I mean? Like, that's like nobody gets excited by defense. Like, it's just, that's the whole deal. People get excited by defense, then
Steph,
Patrick Beverley would be on this list.
And Steph, Patrick Beverley. Is there
anybody I left off, by the way?
You could make a case for Patrick Beverley because people love to see what Patrick Beverley's going to do next. So, like, he's one of those players that, like, you got to, like, I think sometimes when you're watching a Clipper game, he's one of those players where you just got to watch to see what's going to happen with him. I don't know. Patrick Beverley, you might be able to make a case because I think a lot of people would like to watch Patrick Beverley just to see what's going to happen next with him. Players you missed? I love the music. It's very thinking. It's very, very thinking music right now. Clay? I know he's hurt, but Clay?
No. I don't get excited watching Clay.
Not so much.
Clay kind of gets overshadowed by Steph. That's the problem. Plus, Clay's not really flashy. He's just catch, shoot quick. That's Clay. You know what I mean?
You like the footwork.
Yeah, I like movement. I like flashy.
Oh, it's fun.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing. I don't think flashy is always the answer to winning. I don't think that. But as from entertainment value, oh God, I want to see flashy passes. I want to see crazy shots. I want to see massive dunks. Like I want to see that stuff.
I'm gonna throw some names. I'm gonna throw 3 names at you from the Eastern Conference: Embiid, Simmons, Kemba Walker.
Nah. Not fun enough to watch. Embiid's kind of slow. Ben Simmons doesn't shoot, and Kemba Walker's, he's a good point guard. That's really it.
Oh, Donovan Mitchell.
D. Mitchell was up there. I almost put Donovan Mitchell up there. He's a fun player. His size with that athleticism and the way he can score the basketball, Donovan Mitchell's fun to watch. I'm with you on that one. All right, so there we go.
Actually, here's a name that I'm surprised didn't make your list. Nikolai Jokic.
Yeah, Jokic. Joker. You know how much I love Jokic. I really love Jokic. Here's the problem with Jokic. He's just he's slow and doofy and he's not really fun to watch. He's just kind of. Yeah, I'll say this: Jokic is pretty fun to watch. It's just he's not. Yeah, he's big and floppy, and you know what I mean. He walks with his arms flailing around, and he flicks shots up and flunk. And just I don't know. It's crazy. All right. There we go. That's the top 10 most exciting players to watch. All right, more Haystack next.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Worldwide Sports Radio presents the Haystack Show. With Mike Guido.
Hour 3, here we go. It's the Haystack and the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Worldwide Sports Radio.com. Mike Guido, Evan, Monica here in what's today?
Friday Junior.
Friday Junior. There you go. Perfect. Okay. So here's the thing. So I just learned something new.
Uh-oh.
So the best way, because I'm not a huge drinker, the best way to make sure that you don't drown and pass out in a pool when you get drunk is using floaties. Put swimmies on her.
You know what? They come in adult sizes, and it kind of solves the problem.
There you go.
Some people,
listen, adults that don't know how to swim.
drink and swim, and some people don't know how to swim.
And I'm assuming Lisa's one of those people that likes to drink and swim.
I think she is, yeah.
See, I can't drink water when I'm in the pool. Like, I can't drink anything when I'm in the pool. It makes me feel weird. I don't like it.
Really?
Because I'm already in water, yeah.
You feel sloshy?
Yeah, a little bit.
I
can't eat.
Sloshy.
I can't eat and drink and also go swimming. It like makes me sick.
Oh, so you're one of those.
It makes me crampy.
When you were little, did your mom say after you ate, "Don't go in the pool for an hour; you'll get a tummy ache"?
Yes, yes. And every time I didn't listen to her, guess what I got? A tummy ache. It's exactly what I deserve. But apparently, yes. So I'm not gonna say any names, Lisa. But great idea that they put floaties on you.
Yeah, you got to be extra careful with her. She's a delicate flower.
That's right. As are you, right?
We got to make sure she makes it.
Yes, that's right. Didn't you guys go as what, like showgirls or something like that to a?
We did. We went to a party. What was it called? Vegas, Christmas in Vegas.
Yes.
So,
and you and Lisa went as
We
showgirls.
dressed up as showgirls. That was a lot of fun. The big feathers.
The big crazy hats and whatever.
When are you going to get to wear that?
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's fun. Life's all about making experiences.
Yep.
And wearing floaties in a pool and dressing up as a showgirl definitely counts as experiences. Right, Evan? Evan has experiences dressing up as a showgirl. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't. Oh, I'm sorry. I said that over the air. God, I'm broadcasting that to hundreds and thousands and millions of people.
Yeah. But I also learned something. I learned that you don't like to be tucked in.
I don't. No, because I fidget out of it anyway.
Yeah. How about you, Evan? Do you like to be tucked in?
I just put the blanket over my head and just go.
Yeah, see, that's my man. See, I'm with you
Is
now.
that a guy thing?
Yeah, I think so. Like guys grow out of being tucked in. Girls are like. I always found this funny. Guys grow out of the getting tucked in, sleeping with stuffed animals, that kind of stuff. Like they grow out of that. They're I'm a man. I don't need to be tucked. I don't even need a blanket. Like it's just they're like that.
Hi, Ed Ordron.
They're in the great state of Louisiana.
No, I'll tell you what. I also.
But girls, they have like I'll let you finish in a second. Girls like hang on to that for longer. So, like, my fiance loves getting tucked in and always sleeps with a stuffed animal. She cuddles the stuffed animal instead of me when she sleeps.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Now, the one thing that I do, and this has just came up like recently, like a few years ago.
He's got a stuffed Pikachu.
Again, shh, Mike. Stop. Shh. But like, no. Sometimes I'll just put the pillow on top of my head. I'll just put the pillow like on the top of my head. No blanket, nothing. I'll just go like that, and I'll just doze off.
No blanket.
I'll just doze off, but it'll just be like a nap. I'll put the blanket on top of my head, like even both of them. I'll just go like, just take a nap, like just peace. It's almost like peace and quiet. I just
Does
rest,
it look like you're dead?
Peace out. Yeah.
I mean,
his hands are like this.
hands over the
I get it
upper
from my dad.
abdomen, and
I get it from my dad. My dad does the same thing. I'll walk in, and I'll see my dad sleeping. He's doing literally the same thing.
See, I can't sleep on my back. I think I've slept on my back like 2 or 3 times in my life.
Yeah, I'm a side sleeper.
I can't. I just can't do it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you. Like I find myself to be the most comfortable when I'm on my back, but I can't fall asleep there.
No.
I have to be on my side to actually knock myself out and go to sleep.
And you don't snuggle anything? Like I have a body pillow.
No, I mean sometimes I'll hold on to the blanket. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, when I was sick, I used to hold on to a pillow, but that's as far as I've gone.
Nothing. Although
that's as far as you've gone.
We all know this. Being in school, nothing beats doing this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, pretending that you were paying attention in class, you were pretending to take notes. Instead, you were actually just head bobbing.
Yeah.
Boink, up.
The ones that, no,
up.
you got to outright do it. You got to outright just flat out do it during class. Just this.
Did you sleep in class, Evan?
Oh, boy. One time it happened. There was one time.
That you fell asleep in class?
One time where I just did this. One time. I think it was like elementary, middle school.
Really?
Might have been middle school. I'm not sure.
I think I fell asleep.
It was like a random chilly, cold day in like February or March, whatever it was. And it was in middle school, and I just went.
I was never a guy.
I didn't even notice. I was like, whoa.
You want to know something crazy? Is I never used to fall asleep in class in high school. Never. I was wide awake. I was good in class. I took notes. I did all that stuff. Totally good. In college? I was out like a light. I'm not kidding. No, sir, I was in I swear to God, these were the worst classes I've ever taken in college. I took 2 art history classes. They were the worst, most boring, most difficult to understand classes ever. We'd see like this ancient painting or ancient drawing that was drawn in 15,000 BC, and it was supposed to symbolize the state of culturistic something.
Probably stick figures. Right?
Yeah, right. No, well, it wasn't even then. No, they were like really detailed things. They were great drawings. But I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my.
So that's if you ever.
And I actually got woken up by the professor once.
Oh.
She waved in front of my face like did that, and I was like, oh sorry. I was like
smelling salts, right?
No, seriously, yeah. I'm surprised she didn't throw like soap in my eye or whatever.
Oh
God!
I had a teacher in elementary school. I think it was elementary school who, when a student fell asleep, he would literally walk up to him. No, he wouldn't bang the table. He'd do this. Listen, I know you really don't want to be here. He'd just like whisper, and he's like, I know you really don't want to be here, but I kind of really need you to like wake up and pay attention right now. And the student would be like.
Man.
But he would like do it like really like calmly, like whisper. You're like, listen, I know you really don't want to be here. I know, I understand you don't want to be here. It's great.
No,
we all loved it.
No, we used to have a guy. I used to have a algebra professor, an algebra teacher in high school, where I had first period in high school. So the first period in high school is like your first class is at 7 a.m. Like it's early. You're dealing with 15 and 16-year-old kids.
7:15, 7:30, yeah.
Right. I mean, you just
7:45.
So sometimes, and it was the same guy. Same guy used to fall asleep in class. Not every day, but pretty often. Pretty often, yeah. He would fall asleep in class, and took that big, long teacher's ruler. Smacked it right on the desk. Bang! What the hell? It used to actually be pretty funny. Wake up! Yeah. There's actually, before we go to the news, there's actually a clip of, there's a clip of the Dan Patrick Show, right? I hate to, promote other radio programs while we're doing this, but this is a funny story. So I was listening to the Dan Patrick Show, and Dan is taking callers, and he's doing his I think it was best and worst of the weekend or something like that. It was a Monday, and he had a caller, and he said, "Oh, we have I think it was Brian in St. Louis or something. Brian in St. Louis. Hey, Brian." And then no answer.
He fell asleep.
And Dan's like, "Hey, Brian." No answer. And then you hear kind of like you hear like that subtle snore, right? It wasn't loud. It was just like that. And he's like, oh, wait. Be quiet. He's sleeping. And he's like, nothing signifies what I do on the radio more than Dan Patrick. He can put you to sleep. And then ready? This is what he does. He does, all right, ready? In 3, 2, 1, wake up! He's just like, they're all laughing. And then the guy wakes up. It's like, whoa, boy.
Sorry.
Like he woke up and they're all hysterically laughing. It was great. It was a great clip.
That's crazy.
Maybe one of these days I'll plug in my phone to the board and we'll play it. But it was so hysterically funny. All right, so with that, something that isn't boring and that doesn't put us to sleep, and something that doesn't make us pass out drunk in the pool with floaties. Let's go to the news with Monica Ray, our Big J journalist, on a Thursday,
Friday Junior.
There you go.
So there's definitely something going on in Kansas. I don't know if you guys saw the Kansas versus Kansas State basketball game, but if you haven't,
I didn't see the game, but I heard.
Look up the brawl because it's a bench clearing. Everybody's off.
Well,
the bench.
didn't one of the Kansas players throw a chair or something?
There's a picture of the guy with the chair up over his head and a girl like on the floor holding onto his leg. 4 players were suspended, 2 from each team, and it was complete mayhem. I mean, just an all-out fight, and apparently it started with Gordon from Kansas State stripped the ball from DeSouza from Kansas. And
I heard DeSouza started it.
DeSouza caught up with him and, ended up tapping the ball out of his hand, to stop the layup, and then the fight ensued, and then everybody got in on it. It was, watch it, pull it up and watch it.
I can't believe I haven't seen it, but
it's crazy.
I heard that DeSouza started it, and that I know that they suspended DeSouza indefinitely. I think Kansas.
Yeah, they
the Kansas, I think, suspended DeSouza indefinitely,
and somebody they've got like 24 game suspensions and all kinds of things going on, But down the road in Kansas City, there's a bar owned by Alfonso Hodge, who was on the Chiefs roster in 2005. I don't think he ever took the field, but he owned a bar called the 9 Ultra Lounge, and he was hosting a big Chiefs-themed party for the playoff game. And there was a shooting, 2 dead and 15 injured.
Jesus.
So, I don't know what's happening in Kansas. They get a little crazy with their sports. So, if you're going to be watching any sports
I mean,
in Kansas,
I just...
I don't know. They haven't found a motive for the shooting at this point. So,
I don't know.
Guns and alcohol.
It's bizarre.
Probably not a good idea.
No.
Just saying.
No, it isn't.
But,
crazy. Mary, what's next?
And then Drew Brees has been interviewed saying he's not ready to make a decision yet with regards to whether he'll play his 20th season. He said he wants to take some time and relax and figure out what he wants to do if he wants to return, because he will now soon be an unrestricted free agent. But he said if he does play, it's going to be with the Saints. And the Saints, of course, want him back. So
yeah,
I mean,
it is getting to the end of the road for Drew Brees.
What is he, 41?
He's still great, but I think he is. No, I think he's 40.
40.
Let me look really quick. Drew Brees.
Can we get a fact check?
That's what I'm looking at. Don't worry, I'm on it.
Thanks,
Drew
Mike.
Brees he just finished his age 40 season.
Okay.
So his next year will be 41.
41, okay.
Well, he actually just turned 41 a week ago.
Okay, happy birthday.
But happy birthday, Drew Brees.
Yeah.
But no, if I'm Drew, I probably give him one more shot. He's got one more year in his contract, right? I think he's one more year.
Yeah.
Play out the rest of your contract. Yeah. Give it one more shot next year. If you don't get it next year, then I'd say, call it quits. You gave it your best, right? Because you don't want to stay too long and have people say, oh, well, he should have actually retired 3 years ago.
Right. Like people are saying about Tom Brady.
About Brady, right, exactly. So I don't want Drew Brees to fall into that same trap. I mean, Brees is still playing at a really high level.
Right.
I mean, he does have his deficiencies. He really doesn't throw the ball deep anymore. There's a little bit less zip on his fastball, but he's still really accurate. He's been able to make adjustments. He plays for an incredibly smart coach. So they've been able to work around that, but I don't want Drew Brees to fall into the trap of, I'm going to try and win another Super Bowl. He plays till he's 43. His body breaks down. He's not very good. Right. His roster depletes. It's just I would give Drew Brees till the end of his contract, and then after that, I'd say, you know what, call it quits. Take your lumps, and there you go.
And move on.
Plus, to be honest, I think the Saints should try to re-sign Teddy Bridgewater and have Teddy Bridgewater succeed Drew Brees.
So
it makes a lot of sense.
That's a good idea.
That's actually going to be the interesting thing. Now, I think Drew Brees will be back. Who do you sign first?
I agree.
Do you sign Bridgewater first and make sure he's locked up, deal's done, he's your future guy once Brees is done?
Well, Brees is...
Or do you bring back Brees first and say, okay, we'll bring back Brees first just to assure that Brees is back for good?
Well, Brees, I think, has one more year on his deal, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't Drew Brees have one more year left on his contract?
He's going to be an unrestricted free agent in
2021?
This coming season.
Let me look up his spot track.
So
Okay.
he's a free agent now.
He has an opt-out.
Oh, so he could opt out of his contract.
Yes.
What's the value of the remaining year?
$50 million opt-out, $21 million in dead cap. $50 million, 2-year, $50 million potential out.
50. Okay, so it would be $25 million a year. Okay.
That's not too shabby.
Listen, if I'm Drew Brees, I would take that.
25-8.
I would just opt in. I mean, there's no reason to go anywhere else. Your family's settled in New Orleans.
Right. He's been there a long time.
Right,
so.
exactly. I would just opt in, $25 million extra, in your pocket.
Right.
Go win another Super Bowl, and then after that, after your contract's over, then
that's that.
hang them up.
Hang out. Start going to
start playing golf every day.
Mardi Gras.
Oh yeah, get on Bourbon Street and start getting drunk and wear floaties. I'm never going to let that go, Lisa.
And so, Evan, you know that the Mets hired Luis Rojas, their second manager in 2 months. What do you think about that?
Second manager in 2 months. That is such a Met thing.
And it's not a Met thing. The fact that they're the ones who got this decision done first, and not the last ones. But Rojas is well liked by the Mets. He's been with the Mets since 2007. Been in their minor league system. Some of their guys have come up from the minor leagues know him. I think for the Mets, if they were going to hire within inside, I think this is a good hire. I think Luis Rojas, again, been around for years, has coaching experience around the Mets, knows a lot of the players. I think this is a good hire, and I like the fact that the Mets, for a franchise, they got this done. They got this done first, right? They were the last ones to fire.
Yeah, that's the big takeaway. Is the Mets were able to
do it now.
They were able to get this done first. The Red Sox and the Astros are still looking.
Yes.
This was good for the Mets.
Yeah.
And listen, Luis Rojas is respected among the organization. I can't tell you whether it's good or bad because I don't know the guy. I have no idea who he is.
Yeah.
Respecting him on baseball. There's a lot of people around the game who like him a lot. Again, time will tell how good he is, how good things will work out. But I think for the Mets, this was the best possible hire they could make. I mean, if they were gonna hire from within, again, Showalter, Baker, of course, you would have loved those guys. It looks like one of them are gonna land in Houston, possibly. And I think for the Astros' sake, it's best for them to get a Showalter or Dusty Baker to at least level the storm of what's going on.
I got a feeling Dusty Baker is going to go to Houston.
I
have a feeling Dusty Baker is going to end up in Houston.
I got a feeling.
And then the Red Sox are going to end up with
Jason Varitek.
No, they're going to end up with like Salvador Perez or
Eduardo Perez. Yeah, Eduardo Perez. Yeah.
I'm sorry, did I say Salvador Perez? Eduardo Perez. I'm sorry. I don't know. They're going to end up with somebody. I can't even put a name to it, but
for the Mets perspective,
I don't think Buck Showalter's going to manage. I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm a little surprised that Showalter.
I think Buck Showalter has aged out of the game, and I don't mean aged as in like actual age. I mean like his managerial style. I think has gone out of style. It's he's aged out. All right. So there we go. That's the news.
That's that.
Big J journalist Monica Ray here on a Thursday. All right. Coming up next, buy or sell, do it every Thursday. That's next on the Haystack and the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
You're listening to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. You're listening to the Haystack Show on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Good to have you back. Haystack, Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Mike, Evan, Monica here on a Thursday.
Friday Junior. All right, buy or sell, do it every Thursday. Evan, here we go.
Okay, here we go. So the first buy or sell is this, quite simple. After Zion Williamson's debut, I mentioned to you earlier in the show that the Pelicans are only about 4 games back of the 8th seed in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
So with Zion back, the New Orleans Pelicans will go to the postseason.
I'm going to sell it. I think the Pelicans are on their way, but they're very young, very inexperienced. I don't think that Zion is going to have a smooth rookie year. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they do what they can to limit his minutes further in the season. Again, I don't think Zion is going to make all the difference. I think he will make some difference, but into the playoffs, no. I still like Portland more. I even might like Memphis a little bit more. San Antonio, I think, has a shot. I don't think the Pelicans are there. I think they still have some ways to go. So I'm gonna sell that.
So yesterday, the Oakland Raiders officially changed their name to the Las Vegas Raiders, so they are officially the Las Vegas Raiders. Derek Carr will be the Las Vegas Raiders quarterback next year.
Buy. I'm going to buy that.
Buy.
I'm going to literally put all of my savings and put it on that one. I am going to buy the heck out of that. We need to stop having the conversation of whether or not Derek Carr is going to be a Raider or not. He will be a Raider. Okay? There's no question. Okay? The questions of, John Gruden and Derek Carr don't really like each other. That is a farce. That's not true. Okay? They get along. We've heard from multiple people that they get along, that their relationship is very good. Okay? I don't need you to tell me that they're not working out. They clearly are working out. Derek Carr had a good year last year. Their offense took on to another level. Come on, let's be real about this. Let's stop with all the stupid noise. Derek Carr will be the Raiders quarterback next year.
So Daniel Jeremiah came out with his mock draft the other day. And
I like DJ, but I did not like that draft. I disagreed with a lot of stuff.
He's great. But what I found interesting was the Jets. He had the Jets taking Kayvon Chase as number 11.
Yeah.
Kayvon Chase on number 11. Having the Jets pass on CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy going to the Broncos, CeeDee Lamb going to the Oakland Raiders.
And Tristan Wirfs.
So Tristan Wirfs too. So if the Jets have Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb on the board number 11, they will pass on both of them, buy or sell.
I'm going to sell that. I'm going to sell it. Listen, I think that I'm going to sell it with a little bit of an asterisk because it obviously depends on who's left on the board. Okay, the Jets pick number 11. If there's a tackle they like there, I think they'd rather take the tackle. But if you've got Jerry Jeudy on the board, the Jets have to take a playmaker like that. They got to take a guy like Jerry Jeudy where Sam Darnold actually has a weapon that he can throw to. He's a great route runner. He's great in open space. I mean, he's a guy that they would absolutely need. CeeDee Lamb is the same way. CeeDee Lamb's a really explosive wide receiver, runs good routes, and has great hands. I mean, it makes all the sense in the world for them to go after a wide receiver. I don't see why they would pass up on it. And I think Kayvon Chason's a good player, not a number 11 overall player, even though they do need a pass rusher. Not the pick I would have made. They got to go offense. They got to go offensive line or wide receiver in the first round. So I'm going to sell it.
Here's another interesting one from his mock draft. He has Jordan Love going before Justin Herbert. Love to the Colts, Herbert to the Bucs. So buy or sell. There's a chance Jordan Love goes in the draft before Justin Herbert.
I'm going to sell that too. Sell. I think Jordan Love could fall into the second round, and I think Justin Herbert's going to go in the top 10. I think that's how that's going to go. I don't think Justin Herbert's going to make it past the LA Chargers. Chargers need a quarterback. They're not going to have Phillip Rivers next year unless they fully plan on having Tyrod Taylor going to next year as their quarterback. They're going to draft one. The Chargers need to pick up a quarterback. They have to. Okay? If Justin Herbert's there, they're taking him. Jordan Love, I think, depending on the Senior Bowl is huge for Jordan Love because he's going to be making his draft stock here. He's got to be able to impress people at the Senior Bowl. If not, I think he's more of a second-round pick because he's still really raw. He did not have a great season at Utah State. I'm going to sell that. Jordan Love will not go before Justin Herbert.
Two of his picks I really like are T. Higgins to the Bills, Justin Jefferson to the Saints. I think those would be really nice fits.
Those are dominant. Those are great picks, yes.
Buy or sell, the Cowboys will pay Dak Prescott before the Chiefs pay Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, buy. I'm going to buy that. Buy. I think the Chiefs are going to try and ride this Patrick Mahomes on the cheap thing for a while. I don't think the Chiefs are close to paying Patrick Mahomes. Okay? I think at the very earliest, they're going to pay Patrick Mahomes after next season. They're not going to pay him after this year. They're not going to pay him before next year. They're going to pay him after next year at the earliest because he still has his 4th year and then his 5th year option. So I'm gonna say Dak Prescott is going to get paid either franchise tag, extension, whatever it is. He's going to get paid in this offseason. Patrick Mahomes is going to have to wait just a little bit longer.
All right, last one. If Dak Prescott doesn't get franchise tag and leaves in free agency, he will stay in the NFC, buy or sell.
If he leaves in free agency,
he will stay in the NFC.
He'll stay in the NFC. No, I'm going to sell that. Sell. Because truthfully, there aren't a lot of NFC teams that need quarterbacks, right? Carolina could use one, but I don't think they're going to go. I don't think he could go there. I think that's his most likely scenario.
Bears?
The Bears, I think, they're going to stick with Mitch Trubisky. I think it's probably AFC or nothing for Dak. So a team like Tennessee or a team like Jacksonville or a team like I don't even know. Maybe the Chargers. Honestly, like teams that need quarterbacks, they're going to go at.
Could see the Bucs paying up for him. I mean, the Bucs have a talented offense, talented coach.
Maybe, but again, I think that they're going to go with Jameis Winston. First of all, I think this is really unlikely. I think it's pretty much. I think it's going to be the Cowboys for Dak. But I'm not. It's more than likely going to be the AFC because they have more teams that need quarterbacks. I'll say that. All right, so there we go. That's buy or sell. Do it every single Thursday. It's always fun. It's Evan's favorite game, so we play it. All right. Monica Floaties Ray. That's not your nickname. That's your friend's nickname. But Monica Ray, Big J, journalist, Evan Mazza, my producer. I'm Mike Guido. This is the Haystack and the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.